Hello, I am Ryan Cheney, and you are watching a video about the simple looper. This is the lag correction video. In this video, I will show you the techniques that you need to use in order to set the lag correction for the system that you are using. Each system will be different depending upon which motherboard and sound card you have, as well as the amplifier that you're using to output your final sound. So, lag correction, right here, this little box. This box sends out the number that is used by the looper to correct the amount of lag in the system. If you have a system that has a lot of lag between when you actually say something into the mic and it actually comes out the speakers, then you'll be looking at something that's probably in the 100 to 200 to 300 range. If you have a very, very simple system, maybe just your built-in microphone into a pair of headphones, then there's a good chance your lag correction will be around 60 to 80. You'll need to experimentally find this, and I'm about to show you how to do that. And every time you start up the looper, you'll just enter in that number. So let's say my system, I know when I use this particular microphone into this particular preamp, into this particular computer, going into this particular amplifier, has about 100 milliseconds of lag. If I enter that, then every time I push play for any of these 4 tracks, it will automatically go into that file 100 milliseconds and start playing from that point, which effectively makes this thing chop off the first little tiny bit of sound and start playing like a little ways into the file. However, from that point on, all the beats, all the metronome kind of things that would be happening in that sound are in time with what else was happening previously. So, if you have a metronome, ta, that's going, well, you need to have sound first, and you need to have it rolling. Dut, no signal, there we go. So let's say you say ta, and then you want to time the next track to come in and say da. So I recorded the word ta, and I pushed Q, and then I pushed A, and made the beat length in track 1, sent that out, and then for track 2 I pushed W and said da. So if I push Z and X for both of those things together, they'll both start playing together and they'll both sound synchronized. That is not what I meant to do. Let's try that again. Ta, da. Ta, 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 da, 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 da. Now as you see, the very first one is sort of clipped. Ta, 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 ta. See how the first one goes ah, ta, ta, because it cuts off the T syllable. Ta, ta, ta. Same for the da one. It says ah, da, da. Ah, da, da, da. Alright. So if you hit the buttons for them both together, they should start playing together and be synchronized, just of their own accord. Da, 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 da. Pretty close. But what if one of them is going, and you want the other one to join in with it? Ta, 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 da, 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 ta. Now you can make them join in desynchronized, or you can make them come in together. So when the lag correction is set correctly, it makes it easy to do that. If the lag correction is set incorrectly, let's say it's too low, that means it's not correcting enough. That would mean that any other tracks that you try and cue in, when you hit the button in time, they will sound late. See how it sounds a little late? That's because the lag correction is too low. If it sounds early, because the lag correction is too high, then the other tracks will be cueing in ahead of time. So you can see the lag correction makes it easier to synchronize things, because then you don't actually have to correct for the system yourself, you just hit it right in time, and this built-in corrector does it for you. So the easiest way to figure out exactly what your lag correction needs to be is pretty much what I've just done. You make one track, which is just one beat long, where you're saying something that has a very clearly defined consonant beginning. Ta, da, ba. Things where you make a nasal, or I'm sorry, if you are using your vocal cords to start the thing, like an N syllable, or M, or any of the other labial methods of producing sound, you aren't going to get as good of a sample to do this with. So try using ta. Just use ta. It works great. Use it. And you record that into track 1. You just say ta once, right at the beginning. You hit Q right when you say ta, and then hit A at any point you want to. And then you need to say another syllable and record it into track 2. I use da because I like da. It's a great word. So here we go. Ta into track 1, ta. And then da into track 2, da. Now start track 1 playing. And then press play for track 2 right in time with track 1. If it's coming in early, then make lag correction less. If it's coming in late, then make lag correction more. You'll need to determine the exact number experimentally. If you are hitting the keys early or late when you make the initial recordings, it will throw off the machine. But if you always hit it a little bit early or always hit it a little bit late, then it will be compensated for. So let's say that you just habitually hit the buttons late. That means that when you first record track 1 and when you first record track 2, they will be actually referencing parts of the buffer that are a little bit later than you want. And so you might be missing the very first part of those consonants in the first place. You might be missing the T of ta or the D of da. If that's the case, if you don't hear those very clearly in your samples, then you're probably hitting the button late, and you probably should, you know, hit it in time. That's always nice. But do whatever you want to do. The lag correction will allow you to correct for that. All right, I think that's all I'm going to explain for now. Rock on.